So now I'm going to explain another kind of scam. It's not quite online. This is an Amazon package scam. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to protect your friends and family from getting hacked. So what happens is you get a package delivered to your home. It might be in a box, or might be a padded envelope. It will be addressed to you with your information on it, and it may or may not have a sender address on it either. So you think, oh, nice, I got a package, or maybe I must have ordered something recently. I can't remember what I ordered, but I've been ordering stuff these days. And then you open up the package, and inside is a QR code that you need to scan. Really dangerous. QR codes are actually very dangerous things. They're very revealing. So you've handed over every single piece of information you have on your phone, and I mean everything. So this is a great scam if you're a criminal. So first off, everybody orders way too many Amazon packages right these days. So if you're married and one of your partners, your partner orders stuff all the time, and you order things all the time, and you have kids, you just think to yourself, oh, maybe did I order this? It must be this other thing or something. I'm sure I forgot something. I can't remember. Maybe my spouse ordered it. And if you get this package you're not sure of, don't scan anything. That's the first thing. Don't touch anything. QR codes are wonderful for criminals because as human beings, we're inherently lazy. So if we see a code, it's easy to just, win this free gift, scan it, scan the code to register a package, and we don't have to do very much aside from that. And they say, we'll mail you like $1 million from your Nigerian uncle. So do not scan those QR codes. If you're walking down the street and it's some restaurant, well, if it's a restaurant you trust, obviously, but some random place where it's like on a telephone pole or, it says scan this code, you could win the lottery. Don't scan the code. So have some common sense. Criminals know how to take advantage of our laziness, and they do it all the time. Be very careful when you're getting random packages. This is a common scam because people just don't pay attention to it. We're busy, so we do that. So in addition to having common sense and not scanning random QR codes and not taking those packages in your household, if you're somebody who had high value information, those packages may have hidden listening devices too. If you're someone who's kind of wanted, if you worked for the intelligence agency, or if you worked in the military or something, if you're wanted for whatever reason, and you're saying no to that, you're saying no, that would never happen. Well, do you work for Microsoft or Amazon? Especially if you work for the CIA or the FBI, some secret service. This is a Trojan horse, and it does work. So I'll give you an example story. This may or may not have happened to somebody where there was an ambassador of another country who liked paintings, and the US government just happened to find a painting and put it right in front of him, and given it to somebody that he trusted, who gave him the painting. And of course, what was in that painting, in the frame, it was a listening device. So be careful about things that you didn't order, bringing it into your house, because they could have a listening device in there if you're somebody of high profile. In addition to not bringing packages in your home where they have listening devices embedded, you've also got to protect your online privacy, your digital privacy. There are all kinds of stuff criminals are doing these days. So how do you know if a package that arrived at your house is a scam? It's really simple. If you didn't order it, it's a scam. If your wife didn't order it, it's a scam. If your kids didn't order it, it's a scam. Why would some random person send you a package? They're not going to do that. So again, be careful, and that stuff is super important. We've talked about these Amazon packages. We've talked about these QR codes. We've talked about all that kind of stuff, right? What happens when you go do your regular business on your iPhone or your Android phone? You have to be careful about these apps that we're downloading, because just because it's in the App Store doesn't mean it's legitimate. Look at this news story right here. It's about a guy who downloaded a crypto app from the Apple Store, and guess what happened? It was a scam, and he lost $600,000. Unbelievable. Can you imagine losing that kind of money because you thought an app was legitimate because because it was available, you could buy it. It was in the Apple App Store. So remember, scammers are getting smarter, and they're finding ways to bypass security measures. They're using AI to write code that looks clean. They're using AI to create fake reviews that look real. So you have to be extra vigilant. When you download an app, check the developer, look at the privacy policy, read the reviews carefully. If something feels off, it probably is. And this brings me to another point about AI and how it's being used for social engineering. Scammers are using AI to research you. They're looking at your social media. They're looking at your LinkedIn. They're looking at your public records. They're finding out where you work, who your friends are, what your interests are, and then they're using that information to create a highly personalized scam. Maybe it's an email from your boss asking for a favor. Maybe it's a message from a friend who's in trouble. So with AI, these messages are becoming more indistinguishable from the real thing. They use the same tone, the same language, even the same inside jokes. It's really scary stuff. So that's why I'm so big on privacy. The less information there is about you online, the harder it is for scammers to target you. Because at the end of the day, these scammers are looking for easy wins. They're looking for the low-hanging fruit. So don't be the low-hanging fruit. Protect your data, protect your privacy, and stay skeptical. If something sounds too good to be true, it is. If someone is asking for money or personal information, you always have to verify that. Call them back on the number you know, if it's theirs. Use a different form of communication. Do whatever it takes to make sure that you're talking to who you think you're talking to. Because once your money is gone, it's gone. And once your identity is stolen, it's a nightmare to get it back. So please stay safe out there. Pay attention to these scams. Share this information with your friends and family. And let's look out for each other.